All right, I brought on Dan. Dan, I wanted to do a little Q&A and ask you about your coaching experience. So number one, if you want to give it a little background, before we started working together, where were you at and why were you interested in coaching?
I think I just felt stuck. I felt I was in a place that I was having a hard time completely getting over the hump or the speed bump or however you want to describe it in that particular part of my life. I read a bunch of stuff. I had done a bunch of stuff on my own, but I just felt like I needed that extra push, that extra something from someone outside that was objective, that could see things, more clearly than I could for just looking at myself in the mirror. And so I decided to do the life coaching thing.
And what I love about you, you have a personal development foundation. You're very driven, ambitious, a go-getter. And I ask on the call, are you interested or committed? And you've done the homework. You do what I tell you in between. But I'm curious, was there one specific tool or technique that has resonated most or been most helpful for you?
I think at the beginning, when I kind of describe, or I kind of feel like maybe at the beginning I felt like I was kind of in a fog, and you helped me lift the fog, so to speak. And I think the awareness piece for me was what really started everything, the foundation. I remember saying something to you, like saying, "Oh, relationships are hard, and it's really hard to find someone and connect with someone." And you're like, "Why are you so negative?" And see, I never even considered that being negative at all. I just thought that was factual. But then after we started changing the mindset, I'm like, "Oh, okay, I see how that's negative." And I see, so the awareness piece for me and understanding where my mindset was and where I wanted to be was really, really big, because then everything else just kind of builds upon that. When you can catch yourself and you can have your mind in the right place, and then since, when things would happen, and there was some stuff that happened during our initial 8 weeks that I was able to immediately catch and fix and use the tools that you had provided to be in a good place and use this as a gift, as an opportunity, and put my mind in the right place, where before I would have not done that.
And that's the big thing, catch and replace. And I love how you shared with me, you have become so self-aware and doing the work. Now you're catching other people, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's something that started in the last couple of weeks, where I'm talking to someone, whether they're a friend or a business person or whatever, and I'm really catching and listening, not concentrating listening, but like, I hate to even use the word subconscious because I have such a hard time getting into my subconscious with meditation and stuff all the time. But I'm subconsciously going, "Oh, that's a negative mindset," or "That's this," or "That's that." I'm picking it up, and all these other people going, "Oh, okay, now I have a better idea where they're coming from," because I was in that same place at one point.
Is there any major takeaway? Because, a lot of people seek accountability. Maybe it's clarity, forward focus. Is there one thing overall that you feel you benefited?
For me, I think it's really just my overall life has been changed to some degree. Um, Clearly, even though I was successful in the business world and in other aspects of my life, have those areas of my life also improved? And they have. In fact, most of these things that I'm catching in these other people, I'm like on business calls or I'm in a business meeting. And I'm like, "Oh, what's such a negative mindset on that person?" Right. And I'm picking that up and I'm catching that. Um, but it also is with relationships. And that was really the main reason that I wanted to do this, was the relationship part of my life was really kind of a mess. And I wanted to really fix that part. But what I didn't, I guess, maybe realize or think, is that all these other parts of my life would also be transformed as well.
Yes, because the common denominator is you and all of our
Mhm,
life buckets. Okay, final
mhm.
question. Is there any specific person you would recommend this for?
Um, Honestly, I mean, everybody can probably really learn a lot and change the way they function, whether it's business or life or whatever. But I think the key to this is you have to be ready to look at yourself, to look inside yourself at maybe stuff that you don't like, and you have to really be able to do the work. I don't really know what I expected, but it is a little bit more work than what I actually had thought it was going to be in certain respects. I mean, I had to write like a paper for you, and I had to do these mission statements, and I had to do all these other things that I didn't quite really realize would be the case. But those things were really, really good because they kept me ingrained every single day, even if it's just the little mindset reminder that I would get every day. And it got me into taking my own keeping my own journal, keeping my own gratitude journal, keeping my own things. So that stuff is really, really important because it ingrains the stuff in you every single day. So you just keep hammering it and hammering it and hammering it. If you're ready to do the work and you're ready to really make some changes, then I highly recommend it.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing your experience and being fully transparent for who this is really for.
Okay, you're welcome.